make that deal. How about you, bitch? You make that deal?
I'd make that deal.
I don't blame you. Damn good deal.
In this picture is the 3306 and the 3406A. The 3306, the black motor down below, was the old motor out of the Steiger, had a valve drop in the number 6 cylinder, and probably will never run again. But the scrapyard took it in on credit, and they have plenty of parts they can probably pull off of it. They gave me credit towards the new motor. The new motor is the yellow 3406A dangling above it. That would be the motor I ended up taking home. So, I got the motor home, tearing some parts off it, don't need, putting parts on it I do need. Alternator is about mounted up. I'm going to find some different belts. Trying to make the AC mount fit there so I can run an AC compressor off the pulley of the alternator. Looks pretty nice. Held oil pressure great, runs good, jakes work. Air compressor works too, but I ain't got to I want to use it, but I can't in this application with running the hydraulic pump there, so probably gonna end up getting rid of the air compressor and even the internals. It's all nice and shiny still, no rust. Turbo, hardly any play in it, still good. Really good deal in my opinion. A lot bigger motor too than the old 3306. Kind of a unique one with the extension for the injection pump and intercooled intake and stuff like that. Brand new 24-volt starter on it. Probably not going to be able to run it though because the tractor's wired for 12 and I really don't feel like rewiring the tractor, but I do have the old starter from the old motor that I might try to use. It even came with a clutch on it. There's the old adapter plate for bell housing, and I got one with that motor too. Let me tell you, Cougars are not cheap. They are very, very expensive. So, here's what happened with this project. This is a Class 1 bell housing, and the transmission on the Steiger is a Class 2. Biggest problem with that, they're two different sizes. So, I found a machining shop that makes this adapter. It's called a spaceless adapter because when this portion of it mounts to the motor, and this portion of it mounts to the transmission, it's indented. That transmission sets further in, so it isn't pushing your transmission further away from the motor, because by doing that you could have less engagement with your input shaft and clutch, and that could be really bad. Thank God I found that, otherwise this project wouldn't have worked in the first place. The other kind of convenient thing that happened was that the guy that had this tractor before me put a bigger input shaft in the transmission. So I'm assuming the stock configuration of them tractors used a smaller input shaft. Thank God I didn't have that either. I already have the bigger input shaft in the tranny. Just got to put all a new clutch back together and that will all be ready to go. What else do we got going? Seat. Seat is being reupholstered, and I got it all tore apart and tore down. That'll be another couple days yet. I got a door latch. The door latch now actually opens and shuts. There's no more bungee strap across the door. Found that for like 12 bucks on eBay. What else do we got going? Hydraulic pump. So found this lucky thing. It is a gear drive that drives off your timing cover, and the adapter to mount a hydraulic pump I bought with it. And the hydraulic pump is being checked out, resealed, and once it's done and checked over, it'll mount right up to here and I'll have hydraulic pressure again. Because that old pump was beyond saving. I got front and rear main seal coming, along with all the exhaust manifold gaskets and studs to go with that. A lot of stuff coming in the next couple days. Yeah, that's it really. Not a whole lot's happened in the last couple days. Just waiting on parts mostly to show up. The biggest deal anymore is waiting on parts, no matter what project it is. It's a real shame. I really want to just use the clutch I bought this motor with, but I really also don't want to go through the giant hassle of taking all this apart that I've just put together just to change a freaking clutch like a year down the road. Not to mention, now I have two clutches that are used, but they're also still in good shape. I have to find another clutch though. And the old fan off the tractor actually has a couple more blade count than the stock fan that came with this motor. I'm going to end up using the tractor fan though, so it fits correctly in the fan shroud for it. That's what's left of the seat currently. My 12-volt starter, and if anybody wants them, I still have the old 3306 mount and flywheel and extra parts. I ain't going to use them. Heck, there's even more under there. I'm probably going to have to get rid of them somehow. Same with that adapter plate here for it. Front and rear main installed, sealed. The back of the motor here sealed. Got new studs and gaskets all in and sealed. Some new gaskets for oil feed and drain out of the turbo. The thermostat is coming. There'll be another seal for it as well. What else? A couple more seals, miscellaneous stuff coming. I got my starter back in. Got a lot of progress done today. Sealed up a bunch of the extra ports I didn't need from the air compressor. It's coming along real quick. Something else I had to change. So this originally was a rear sump motor, and that would have worked fine in the truck. But to clear the front axle of that Steiger, I had to flip the pan around. So the pan can be flipped, but I also had to find a different sump because the original goes clear to the back and it won't fit if you just flip the pan around. I luckily found in our spare parts and crap another sump for it, and I got it mounted up on the forward half of the motor, so when the sump matches up to it, it goes down in correctly. We're getting closer, day by day. Something else really cool I found out. This is an older cat, but I can tell that it is a early cat because all over the motor, you can see it, white paint, some more white paint. Everywhere you see it chipped, there's white paint. And that tells me that it's an early cat white before it was painted yellow at some point in time.